All right, so we're going to take a look at this podcast from Daniel Tosh. It's called Tosh Show, or that's the channel. I don't know, his podcast, whatever. Either way, this seems to be his show that he's been doing for some time now, and nobody's talking about this. Nobody even really mentions Daniel Tosh in the world of comedy anymore. I feel like Joel McHale gets more reference than Daniel Tosh, and I like Daniel Tosh. I always thought he was very funny. All of his specials were great, and haven't checked out his podcast for any reason, and I just don't feel like anybody else has either. But this is his topical hot takes, apparently. Let's see what he's got for us.
Daniel Tosh here, host of The Tosh Show. Unfortunately, somber times are upon us as a nation. And I usually don't step outside of my lane. I usually stay in the comedy lane only. Rarely do I put my blinker on to Controversy-ville. You know, I live my life with blinders on. I live in a bubble. I'm out of touch, happily. I don't want to be in touch with some of the raw emotions that I've been feeling. And I shy away from sharing them for the simple fact that I don't want to turn one of my subscribers off. So I just bottle it and I bury it. And that's not healthy.
So I will say, this seems to do pretty well. But in the world of like comedy, I don't ever hear people talking about him. Whether it's LA comedians, New York comedians, Austin, I don't feel like anybody's talking about Tosh. Does he do sets anywhere? Does he do stand-up still to any degree? Is this the only thing he does? Does he write for... I have no idea. And like I said, I always thought the guy was very funny. I wondered why he sort of disappeared. And then he comes back with this thing, and he's not like talking to other comedians. Not on any of the shows that I've seen. He basically is just talking to other people in his life, his wife, you know, his chiropractor, random shit like that. Because apparently he thinks he can find more funny there than he could, you know, having a conversation with, you know, Mike Cannon.
I honestly think that I owe it to each and every one of you that tunes in every single week for one of my soon-to-be award-winning podcasts. So I am going to weigh in on recent tragic events. Eddie, hit the sirens. Oh, thank you, Eddie. Good job.
Hey, I can't wait to hear your take on all this political violence.
What? No idea what you're talking about, Eddie. No, I'm talking about the Florida Gators.
All right, so I think this is exactly what's happening. This podcast is not really a podcast. It is really more like a show. Everything's set up, it's written, it's, you know, planned. And, I don't know. I don't care about it at all. But I had to check it out because, what's the guy been doing? And here he comes back with a podcast on a YouTube channel where he's just sort of, hey, you know all that crazy stuff going on in the world? I'm going to pretend to react to it. But the actual crazy stuff is going to be a football team not doing well.
Being
funny.
The bottom dwellers of the SEC. It's got my father-in-law idle. He's not eating, won't take my calls anymore. There's rumors that he's spending his Saturdays watching F1 time trials.
The other thing, too, is if you're going to do this type of show, you got to get a teleprompter or something. Because just reading off of that paper at the same desk you would be interviewing somebody at, it's weird. I don't know. I find it unwatchable. 3.7 thousand likes. You know? Not great when you have 583,000 subscribers. It's not bad, but again, just do another special, man. Because I don't think anybody else talks about you in the world of comedy. Like, nobody reveres him. Not that I hear. Unless he's somehow accidentally brought up for some Tosh.0 reference. Right? I don't know. Check it out, guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you.